Blow that whistle. So the Cowboys are playing Eagles week 1. They did release all the schedules. Did you look at the Cowboys?
I haven't looked at it yet.
I can give you some. Yeah, it's been out for days.
I just haven't looked at it. I was really caught up on that whole Eagles first game. That's going to be awesome. And then I saw who we're playing. I've not looked at the schedule yet.
The Cowboys will visit the Eagles to kick off the season on Thursday night. On Friday night, the Kansas City Chiefs will take on the Chargers in Brazil. That sounds miserable because those fields are always built for soccer, not built for football. So the fields end up, the turf just demolished and like players randomly getting hurt.
Correct.
Because they're not going to build the field perfectly to specs for a game. And for the most part, they think a soccer field will work. These guys are running. They're pivoting. They're turning. Their cleats are going. The fields are never good. Like Mexico, they're never good. Europe, they're never good.
You ever seen soccer players slide after they score a goal?
Yeah.
Like, that's different kind of grass. Like, football players aren't supposed to slide like that.
Week 4 in Dublin, the Vikings and Steelers.
Yeesh.
Week 5 in London, the Vikings and Browns. Poor Vikings. They're just staying.
I know, man. There's going to be European for a few
just
weeks.
Staying in Europe. That sucks. Because the hotel rooms are smaller. Everything is smaller.
Oh,
over
is
there.
that right?
Oh, yeah, it sucks.
Really?
London will be the site for the Broncos and Jets in week 6. The good thing is we get to wake up and there's a game on early.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of fun. Although after about 3 weeks of it, you get tired. It's fun for a couple weeks. I don't like it every week.
What happens to me is I forget that, and then I wake up like at 8, like, oh my gosh, I missed part of the game.
The third game in London will see the Rams and the Jags. Week 10's in Berlin, Germany. Falcons and Colts. 11's in Madrid, Spain.
Wow, that's a first.
Commanders and Dolphins. Week 13, the Cowboys Thanksgiving game
That's
on November
Chiefs.
27th will be against the Kansas City Chiefs.
See, this hurt me a little bit because I feel like they're slowly inching the Chiefs into Thanksgiving. And I don't know if they would change tradition like that, but the Cowboys have always been the Thanksgiving team, right? Especially the later game. The Lions always play the noon game. Cowboys play the later game. I feel like this is slowly inching the Chiefs into Thanksgiving.
The Chiefs are also playing on Christmas Day.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I don't like this.
I think the Chiefs are just Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and so I don't think there's any conspiracy to move them into Thanksgiving. I think it's just get them on the biggest games possible.
Okay.
Because they have the biggest name possible in football.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Like, first year we don't make the playoffs. Cowboys are they really America's
No, because they
team?
sucked forever and never got moved. The Lions have mostly always sucked and never got moved.
That's true.
So I think the Cowboys and Lions remain
Okay.
at Thanksgiving. But, you want to get the teams on that people know the most. And by the people that don't watch the most football would be people that have to watch football on Christmas and Thanksgiving. So give them the people they've heard of.
God, that would be a great Thanksgiving game.
The Cowboys, week 1 Eagles, week 2 Giants.
Yeah, win.
Both?
Gosh, 2-0, man. Not bad. Not a bad start.
God, no way. The Bears, week 3.
I mean, the Bears are supposed to be good.
Packers, week 4. Did you ask or tell?
I was asking.
New coach. Ben Johnson's the
There's a lot
head
of
coach.
hype going on over there.
Just because they got new coach.
That's it.
He was great in Detroit. They fired Eberflus. Cowboys and Packers, Cowboys and Jets, Cowboys and Panthers,
Ooh, I love that stretch.
Cowboys and Commanders, then the Broncos, then the Cardinals, then the Raiders, then the Eagles again, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, Giants.
I mean, this is good.
It's a down the middle schedule.
It's down the middle. It sounds like we'll make the playoffs.
Oh, don't do that.
What do you mean?
It doesn't sound like that.
that stretch in the middle with Carolina and the Packers and then the Raiders somewhere in there. I think we can do that.
There's a story over the past 3 seasons. Sean Rhyan's played on the offensive line for the Packers. And so he played 1,144 of the team's over 3,200 snaps, which puts him at 34.9% of snaps played. Now, again, he's played, I'm going to say the number specifically.
I saw this.
Yeah.
This hurts.
He played 1,144 of the team's 3,272 offensive snaps, which puts him at 34.96. Had he played just 2 more snaps, he would have hit the 35% mark, and it'd have been $2 million more dollars.
Is this just bad luck?
Yes. Because it's 2 snaps, it's absolutely bad luck.
They couldn't Rudy him and just throw a couple.
Probably didn't know.
Oh my gosh.
If you're doing what Jerry Jones did to the Cowboys, so Dak goes down.
Yeah.
And
Cooper.
Mr. Backup Savior Cooper Rush comes
Cooper
in.
Rush.
They did pull him for Trey Lance because Cooper was about to hit.
Right.
They said they just wanted to see if Trey Lance.
Nah, I'm with you. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
I mean, if you know that if they pass this certain mark, you're going to owe them money, why not just pull them out? Or just not, hey, just run the ball, man. Run the ball. This guy, hey, no snaps. Let's go. Let's just, no snaps.
2 snaps. That's really bad luck. Because if they knew and were trying, they probably would have. It'd have been more than 2 snaps. They would have made sure it wouldn't have been that close.
Question.
Answer.
Do you think that these teams have a recent college grad, an intern to keep track of all these bonuses?
I do think that there's probably someone in analytics, but you can also put it in like an AI version and it constantly tells you.
You don't need a kid to do it.
But yeah, but my point is, I don't think they'd have waited till 2 snaps if they were going to do it. That's too close.
Yeah,
that's
really close.
That's evil villain. That's Gargamel type stuff. Just torturing the Smurfs.
How much money?
$2 million.
Oh, God.
$2 million bucks.
You could smell the $2 million.
Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe reinstated by Major League Baseball.
Let's go, baby.
They now can get in the Hall of Fame. And they both should probably get in the Hall of Fame. So Shoeless Joe first, part of the Black Sox scandal, where it turns out the White Sox cheated through the World Series.
There was no doubt that they cheated.
And
they took money. There was no doubt that they took money.
Yeah.
No proof that they cheated.
Well, they played really terrible except for Shoeless Joe,
Correct.
who played really well. There was no record of him actually taking money, but there wasn't record of him not taking money. But he did.
I think they all admitted that they took money.
He did play out of his mind. He
Correct.
didn't admit he took money, I don't think.
They did. I think they all did in trial. Hey, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, the movies that I'm trying to pull from too, which is sad.
Which movie? Because there's
8 Men Out.
Yeah, it's a great movie, man.
I need to look. I'm going to ask, did Shoeless Joe take
Wait, who are you asking?
money?
Kevin Costner?
Yeah, I'm going to hit him up. Hey, Costney.
You met Shoeless Joe.
Okay, so he was accused of taking $5,000 in cash and had admitted to taking it in the 1919 World Series scandal.
Boom.
He admitted to receiving $5,000, but he did not play according to their directive.
Correct. And he had like a bunch of hits, like you said, played out of his mind.
Played out of his mind, yeah. He did take the money, though. So he did gamble, and they did lose. I get it. P. Rose gambled. You can't bet on baseball.
Mm-mm.
He didn't bet on his own team, he said.
He did not.
But you can't bet on baseball. You can't bet on baseball if you're playing baseball.
Yeah, and the rule is very strict these days.
And
no gambling whatsoever.
Yes. They also were given lifetime bans. Their life is up. Did they play well enough as players? Because Pete Rose, when he bet on baseball, was a manager.
Yeah, he was already a manager. He's an awesome
did
player.
Did he ever get caught betting as a player? I don't think so.
No.
Not that I know of.
This
It's
all
only
happened
managing.
later.
Yeah. So yeah, put them both in.
And they're both dead,
They're both
obviously.
Dead. Well, yeah, Shoeless Joe's been dead.
He's been dead for a while, but Pete Rose
died
just recently.
Yeah. So yeah, they should get in as being players.
I agree.
And also, even if it were today and you were betting as a manager, yeah, you're done. You can't do that. Even with gambling allowed.
Can't do it.
You can't do that.
Dude, how cool is it to have a nickname like Shoeless Joe Jackson?
I guess it depends on the nickname. I didn't love T-Bone.
Explain.
Well, no, they
why
said
you
I got
have
a
T-Bone?
boner in 7th grade
What do you
wrestling.
mean they said? Did you or did you not?
No, I did not. But my shorts ripped open. It wasn't like a boner ripped my shorts open. If so, that'd have been an awesome nickname to have because that's a powerful boner.
This story's in your book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
And so my shorts ripped open. So there it was out. And then the story turned into, as I was wrestling another dude.
Punks.
I know. So then I turned into T-Bone. I hated it. So yeah, no, I'd rather been shoeless. Shoeless Bobby.
Was T-Bone like throughout your whole
Until I graduated high school.
No way,
It
dude.
sucked.
That's crazy.
It sucked because my nickname was that of a kid who was wrestling in all-season football who got a boner over another kid who played football.
Which you say did not happen.
No, it definitely didn't happen. Because my shorts ripped open.
I hear you, dude.
And had it happened because, let me present this perspective. Had I been aroused and it ripped my shorts open, I'd have been proud of that. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, sure.
I've never in my life seen that happen on anyone that it ripped cloth, unless you're Incredible Hulk.
The thing was just wanted out.
And then so much so that it ripped open the shorts.
Gotcha.
Like that's something to be proud of.
That's cool. That's a good nickname.
So if they'd call me Hulk, that'd work too. But they didn't.
Sorry, dude. That's a terrible nickname.
Yeah, it's terrible. So
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with Bones is the irony of it.
I know, and now you're Bobby
I
Bones,
know.
which is
It's
crazy.
the irony of it. But yeah, Shoeless, not so bad.
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
T-Bone sucked. It looks like NFL and Netflix are going to do another series called The Home Team. So they did quarterback, they did a wide receiver.
Yeah, what's home team?
Home Team, the New York Jets, a 6-part documentary series that follows 6 New York Jets players throughout the 24-25 regular season.
Do they say who the players are? Sauce Gardner?
Well, they already had 24-25, so I'm sure. Yeah, no, it doesn't.
I know, that's kind of, it's not. I mean,
So it's already followed them, but people all got fired that year because they lost their coach and their GM.
oh, so this is something they've already shot.
24-25.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, so that's happened, but it
Okay.
doesn't say who
Okay.
they focused on.
I'd watch that.
Like Aaron Rodgers was a part of this.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'll watch it too. I didn't really love quarterback.
I loved quarterback. I
thought it was fine.
I learned a lot about Kirk Cousins
That's
watching
the
quarterback.
only thing I took from it was Kirk Cousins, pretty nice guy.
Pretty nice dude.
Yeah,
A normal dude.
I thought it was fine. I didn't love quarterback.
Did you watch Receiver?
A third of one episode.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I didn't love quarterback, so I'm not going to love receiver because I would rather watch quarterbacks than
Sure.
receivers. And if I thought that was fine, I'm not going to watch.
Dude, the pain that Kirk Cousins would go through during the season, like, there's just stuff like that I'd never even thought of.
I played golf yesterday with Michael Chandler, MMA,
He was on your team?
UFC. He was in a group that I was in. I was the celebrity, and he was in a group. So I'm just a celebrity in his group. He's more famous than I am, and I'm the celebrity in his group.
So he paid to play with you?
I don't know if he paid or not.
He's a big fan of yours?
Well, they didn't know what celebrity they were getting
Okay.
because, and I made this joke in my last special, the whole setup was people are paying for celebrities, and there are major celebrities there. I won't relive the joke, but I was on the driving range with Nick Saban.
Amazing.
It's pretty cool, and I'm pretty jaded.
Set the
And-
scene. How many people on the driving range?
Oh, this driving range is pretty full, but everybody's in golf clothes, so you really can't tell who's who because other people that were there that I later talked to were Drew Brees was there. He came up to me.
Drew did?
Yeah, really nice.
I
'Cause
guess you guys have met
I met
a
him
few times.
a couple years ago, and then we did the interview with him also.
Super Bowl.
At Super Bowl, yeah. So he came up. Colt McCoy came up to me too. Those are the two people that came up to me to say hi, which was super nice of them. There were also people there like Shay from Dan and Shay, Thomas Rhett. Like I know those guys.
Sure. See 'em all
so
the time.
if we just see them, we talk. Ernest. But I went up because we took a big picture together and talked to Penny Hardaway, who's also the coach at Memphis.
How tall?
6'7", probably 6'7", 6'8".
But like to your eyeball, like, wow, this dude's tall? Or, well, he's taller than average, I guess.
I knew who it was, so my expectation was really tall, and he was
Okay.
really tall. So there's a picture of us together that I put on my
okay.
story. But yeah,
Yeah, he's 6'7".
yeah,
It's pretty tall.
yeah, he's tall. But Saban and I were hitting balls next to each other, and
So you knew that.
you could tell because he's wearing the Nick Saban. I don't know what style that hat is, but it's like a big hat.
Yeah, it's like the whatever garden hat.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
It was no doubt Nick Saban from 100 feet away, where everybody else was kind of a doubt. Like Ben Roethlisberger, you wouldn't have known who he was, except he was a pretty big dude, just with a ball cap on, hitting balls. So Nick Saban, you knew. So we were hitting balls, and he's hitting pretty good. He's 70-something years old, and he wasn't like crotchety or anything.
Smooth swing.
I guess my swing's not smooth, so I'm really not monitoring anybody else's. We were walking away, and it was like, hey, that's the wrong A or something like that.
You told him that.
He told me that.
Oh, he told you.
Something like that. Because it came up, our
Nice.
bags were also near each other. And then everybody was together for a picture, all the quote unquote celebrities. And as we were walking away, somebody else said something. And then a camera guy comes up and goes, hey, let me get a picture of you guys. I was like, thank God I didn't want to ask. And so he took a picture of us together.
That's like
it's on
best case scenario.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram. It was awesome. He was nice. He wasn't like fake nice. He wasn't mean, but he was like normal. I would say that he was normal, just like he were out there with a bunch of dudes. Just talked and said what's up, and that was it.
I feel like he just walks slowly.
He does walk kind of slow, like a 70-year-old.
You know?
Yeah.
Just kind of like there's no hurry to get anywhere.
Played with Michael Chandler, and he had glasses on that were
Yeah.
huge.
How was his face?
I didn't know it was him at first. All I saw was this dude. Now, Michael Chandler's the opposite of Penny Hardaway.
Short.
Yeah, he's probably 5'7",
Most UFC fighters. Short people.
but is a ball muscle. And I said, what, you had to play something in sports. Like, what did you play? Because I know it was him. He had a hat down. Because the last fight when he fought Paddy the Baddy which he lost that fight, but that was like 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, maybe a month and a half ago.
Oh, was that long ago?
Yeah.
So he had big glasses on and a hat down. I said, "You played something?" And he pulled his glasses down. He goes, "Dude, it's me, Michael. I've been on your show." And I was like, "Oh my God, my bad, dude." And so he was awesome. We talked for 7 or 8 holes.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah, we play closest to the hole against each other. What's funny is the video that I put on my Instagram of us playing closest to the hole. He lost, he hit it in the water, but he's actually a decent golfer. That was like his worst swing of the whole day. So yeah, it was good. Yeah,
That's awesome.
But he still has like under his eyes, like one of his eyes is still busted up.
I'm telling you, I feel like a good show would be follow the UFC fighter after the fight. And like, how long is that rehab?
That's funny.
Just
Yeah,
because
that's a good
like,
idea.
like the fight is like, all right, they fight and then they leave and you never see them again. But do they go straight to the hospital? How long are they in bed at home? Like, do their kids jump on them when they get home and it's like, don't touch my face.
Yes, I bet all that happens.
Right? I'd love to see that.
It's a pretty fun day though.
That's cool.
Mostly just because you're seeing a lot of people that you don't see in real life. Like to me, Nick Saban is A+ fame.
Oh, absolutely.
My wife saw him at the grocery store. She wouldn't give a crap. But to me, that's the Nick Saban, the Belichick, the sports like heroes that have been so good at what they do almost my entire life.
Yeah.
Like that, I was kind of geeking out about that.
I'm so glad you got a picture too, because that's awkward to be like, man, I really would love a picture, but I can't ask him.
Yeah. Thankfully, somebody hopped in and was like, "Hey, let me get a picture." And I was like, "Don't mind if I do." And he's actually halfway smiling.
Yeah, in the picture.
Yeah,
he looks happy to be with you.
He's halfway smiling.
So how was Colt McCoy? Like, what you guys talk about?
He was extremely smiling. Like, he's the nicest guy. And so he came up and was just like, "Hey, man, how you been?" Now, I never met Colt in person. And I think it's one of those things, too, like where if I haven't seen anyone for a long time, but I've like seen them on social media or seen them around, or you feel like you've seen them a lot. And I think that was just the case.
Yeah.
Like maybe from listening to the show I know his wife would listen, that he just feels like we've met. I don't think I've ever met Colt McCoy. I've talked to him on the phone a couple times.
Okay.
Because
on the show?
No, me calling him.
Okay.
Not for fun, but for like business stuff.
Okay.
We at one point thought about doing a project together, but I've never met him. And maybe it was just from that, like the phone calls, but he was like, "Dude, how you been?"
Yeah.
But he's so nice. And he's also like big.
It's so weird. I feel like he would be smaller. He just looks smaller.
No, he doesn't. You would go, "That's an athlete."
Yeah.
Big guy. Pecs through a golf shirt. Big.
And then at the same time, too, like, you don't play anymore, dude. Like, go eat some chips and eat pizza. He looks fit still.
He just retired, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess he did.
So
A few years ago.
last year.
Last year was his last year?
Mm-hmm. He didn't play last year. That was his first year of retirement.
Okay, so two years ago.
So he's had 1.5 years of retirement.
Yeah.
But no, he still looks good. So yeah, it was fun.
And you didn't talk to Roethlisberger?
Yeah, never really presented itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also not a huge fan. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be his friend.
He plays the Steelers. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, like what's the use?
Right, you're a Cowboys fan.
I'm not, but
Yeah,
what's
you
the
are.
use? And I don't want to bother anybody. So yeah, that was the day yesterday. And I should say that. So I played this tournament. It was for Chris Tomlin, the Christian artist. And so, he calls a bunch of his friends to come out and play. And
He's got a lot of friends.
luckily, I'm one of his friends, and I went out and played. But the day before, you and I went to play because I was going to play in this tournament, and I hadn't played any golf really, like 4 times this year. And it's the best I ever shot 78.
Amazing, dude.
It's funny. I've had more people reach out to me to say congratulations on that, because that video that I posted, than any like professional accomplishment.
That's true, but
like random dudes have reached out to go like, "Hey, I saw you shot a 78, man. Congratulations."
I think because it's so relatable. Like Dancing with the Stars, dude, I'm never going to be on Dancing with the Stars, so I can't relate to that. You want it, that's cool, good for you. But I understand what it's like to beat your own record. I've never shot in the 70s, ever, dude. If that were to ever happen to me, I'd be so excited, so I know how excited you are.
I didn't say anything as it was going till the last hole because I definitely didn't want to jinx it. But about hole 16, this feels like a perfect game. Also, it's like 78.
Yeah,
It's not even
yeah.
like shooting under par. It
70.
just shows you how good we're not. I've never broken 80 either. And so, like, hole 16, I'm like, uh-oh. Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
And I don't think any of us, like me, Gator, we were playing, I don't think we caught that.
Nope. I said nothing until we got there, and I said, "Eddie, hold my phone," because I had chipped a ball that was like 6 inches.
Yes.
And I just needed to tap in for the
record.
And I was like, for the record. And I made it, by the way, I was kidding in the joke, and I was like, I'm shooting 79 like the pros do. I said that in the club. People were like, you're not a pro.
That's a terrible round for a pro.
It's a joke. Or 78. Yeah, but I shot a 78. For me, as a not good golfer, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Even my father-in-law reached out and was like, you shot a 78?
That's, dude,
Thank you.
I'm happy for you, dude. So happy
I'm
for
happy
you.
for me, too.
I'm speaking for a lot of other guys out there. We're very happy for you.
Yeah, and it wasn't braggy. It was just like,
It's
I was
awesome.
proud. Yeah.
It's like a hole-in-one. Like, if you were to ever have a hole-in-one, I would buy you something.
That would be crazy. Both of us.
Yeah, I know.
Because neither one of us had a hole-in-one.
Nope, we've gotten close.
What's your best round? 80?
81.
I shot 80 once and 81 once. So, same.
Dude, you just had pars. Like you were.
I had no birdies.
You were just par. I remember looking at your score. I think at the front after the front nine, just kind of like, let me see where we're all at. And I had square, double square, like, and then a birdie, and then that's kind of what mine looked like. And you had nothing, just numbers. I'm like, oh my gosh,
and no birdies.
Like no birdies. I think you had one bogey or a couple bogeys.
I had a double and a bogey on the front because I went 39-39. So I just remember from the card. Yeah, it was a nice day.
Awesome.
It was a nice day. The NBA playoffs are finally here. It's been wild. All the high-stakes drama, insane buzzer beaters, jaw-dropping dunks. And guess what? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is giving you a chance to boost your winnings with an NBA profit boost every single game. Every single game, all playoffs long. Check out the app for the day's special boost. Don't miss out. Cash in while the action heats up. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code BobbySports. That's the code BobbySports to get your profit boost for every NBA playoff game. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Hey, so we'll say this. Since the last time we did the show, we know Jayson Tatum, he tore his Achilles. That is terrible.
It is bad.
He's out. He did have surgery really quickly, which doesn't usually happen. Like immediately had surgery. That's about the worst leg injury you can have, other than like an odd significant bone break on a significant bone at a non-joint type place. Like if you were to take your femur and break it like at your thigh.
Sure.
But as far as like muscles go, that's the bad one.
A rupture, is that the same as just a tear?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
A rupture to me just sounds like
It exploded.
Yes. It just sounds like a more dynamic word.
Yeah.
So he's out. They're going to play the Knicks tonight, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's out, but they won.
Oh, they won last night.
They won the game without him.
Yeah. So 3-2.
And so, we'll see what happens.
That sucks for Celtics fans.
It really does.
Last night, though, Denver ended up beating Oklahoma City. It's 3-3.
And it wasn't close.
You will have to wear a woman's thong for a week if Oklahoma City does not win the championship.
Bro, it was like I told my kids that, like, I'm leaving them. Like, because I just, under my breath, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to wear this thong. And they go, what? And I go, it's just a stupid thing we did on the podcast that if I said that OKC has to win the whole thing, and if they don't win the whole thing, I have to wear a thong. And my kids are like, you said that? Why would you say that? So then they got worried, like, do you have to wear it like everywhere? Like, do you have to just wear a thong? Are you going to go to the grocery store just wearing a thong? Like, no, guys, I'm going to wear it underneath my pants like underwear and only during the show. Yeah. They're like, thank God.
Yeah, that sucks.
And then, now we're tied up going to game 7. It all comes down to this.
At least it'll be in Oklahoma City.
I don't think that's mattered, though, because I feel like the wins have come on the road before this last game.
I think you're right about it doesn't matter as much as it used to. But I think there's a difference in Denver and OKC in that those OKC guys have to go play up in the altitude.
Sure.
That sucks.
Is that what the number meant on their jerseys? They had like a weird number. Denver had like a 50-47.
Probably.
I
don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, but probably. But yeah, when players have to go play in Denver, that's very difficult because of the altitude more so than just the advantage.
Yeah.
But Shea foul, 4 fouls so quick.
He did.
Dumb fourth foul too. So he had to sit. I hope the Thunder win, but if they don't.
I do too, man.
If they don't, that sucks.
This is good basketball, though. This playoff basketball is so good that everyone's playing so hard. I mean, Westbrook is like out there playing defense, trying to get blocks, getting rebounds. Pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, it's been fun. So we're going to do this segment, and we did a couple of these before Kickoff Kevin. He had his babies, by the way. He posted that, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, he posted it publicly.
Oh.
I thought he did.
Ooh, I don't know that
Don't
he did
know.
publicly.
Well,
But
but he did say he was having them that day.
Yeah,
And
he's-
we're not saying any names or anything. Oh, I thought I saw him posted anyway.
I don't think he did.
Can we say he had his babies since he said he was leaving to have the babies?
He said he was going to the hospital that day.
Yeah,
I think people expected that. And we can tell people that good news.
he had the
they were
babies.
born.
Yeah, they were born. Because everything. Yeah, he said all this.
Yeah.
We'll say nothing else. But we recorded with him, and you'll hear that in a minute. Talking about Tatum's injury, we didn't exactly know that it was
Achilles.
a ruptured Achilles. Yeah. So you'll hear that, and we also did our top 10 NBA basketball players of all time. I guess it's just basketball players of all time, because they're not all NBA players.
Oh, correct.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we're gonna get to these two segments. So that's why you'll hear Kickoff Kevin. He's not here with us today. Rest in peace. He has 2 kids now. All right, here you go. So now we're gonna do top 10 basketball players of all time.
This was tougher for me.
Because you didn't have a team?
I'm a Spurs fan, but I mean there aren't.
Oh yeah, you are a Spurs fan. Yeah.
but there aren't that many Spurs.
You were a big Spurs fan. I would go to games with you because your parents had season tickets, right?
Yeah, my
we stood at
parents
the
did.
tunnel. You took me
Yeah.
down to the tunnel. And we
Yeah.
gave the players 5 coming through.
See, that was funny because my dad was like, "Hey, we got you. You and your friends are coming. We got you these passes. You guys can go down the tunnel and meet the players." I'm like, "Cool," and it is cool. And I told Bobby and our friend Steve, like, "All right, let's go. We're going down the tunnel." And it was almost one of those passes where you give your 9-year-old.
Oh, for sure. We were the only adults. But that doesn't mean it was not cool because it was all kids and then us adults putting our hands out getting slapped by the players when they come through.
It's when they
Yeah.
come out, for warm-ups and you give them high fives, they come through. And it definitely was like little kid, us.
I was
And
too
the
good
little
for it. I vividly remember that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome because we're on the court. I don't think I'd ever even been to an NBA game at that point.
Really?
Yeah.
That was your first NBA game?
How would I go to an NBA game? Arkansas, we didn't have any. We had nothing.
True. And, the Spurs were hot then. Like, the Spurs were like a good team
They
then.
did look good. Oh, you talking about how
No,
good
come
they
on,
were.
man. Like, how good they were.
Yeah. Okay, top 10 basketball players of all time. Eddie.
Number 1, Michael Jordan. I mean, how are you a kid our age?
Hey, I don't have him on my list.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Not as any
You
kind of
didn't eat
spoiler.
Wheaties?
No.
You didn't eat Wheaties?
You wear Jordans, man.
Now. I'm not no. I'm not saying he's not awesome.
That's
He
crazy
wasn't
he's on
one of
your
my
list,
favorite.
though.
I'm a hater of bandwagoners. And I'm not saying you're a bandwagoner or Chicago fans are bandwagoners, but everybody loved Jordan. And he was so beloved by pop culture that I should say I'm more of a contrarian for the fact of just being contrarian.
I'm like that with Tom Brady. Same.
Yeah.
Can't stand him.
So, I could
That's
stand
fair.
I could stand him. I just didn't root for him.
Any way I can kind of show people that I don't like Tom Brady, I'll say it.
Oh, I was not a hater, but I didn't root for him. That's funny. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Okay, number 2.
Okay, Michael Jordan 1, and then number 2 is Kobe. Mamba, man. I mean, and then 2, just kind of like the more, the longer he's been dead, like you just hear all these stories more and more about how Kobe worked so hard. And now that I have kids playing basketball, I tell them unlimited Kobe stories or show them YouTube clips or TikTok clips of people talking about Kobe practicing when no one was looking. Stuff like that is so cool to me.
You realize Kobe was unhealthy mentally, right?
Sure.
Okay, just making sure.
But when a kid is learning to play
sure.
basketball, there's nothing better than seeing a clip of Kobe talking about how he practiced so much.
I would say anyone that is that dedicated to anything, I am unhealthy mentally when it comes to, there are reasons, and I'm sure Kobe's was based in some sort of trauma too, the reason he's like that. But
Yeah.
anybody great, there's a ton of sacrifice and there's something that's pushing them that ain't super healthy. So I've done the joke before and I've seen other people do similar things where it's like, Kobe's like, he's like, yeah, man, we played Kobe last night and he was talking crap because the night before he went up and he shot up a bar that all my family was at. And then the next night I was kind of sad and he was like, yeah, that's why you're sad. And that's why I put 42 on you. And, you're like, and they were like, Mamba got you again. And like, man, Kobe would do anything to win.
They're like, rest in peace.
And you're
love
like, rest
Mamba.
that man, he would bite. But, and
It's like the most jerkish things ever.
right. And now it's like, it's just Mamba being Mamba.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome work ethic. But you have to be unhealthy to want it that bad as somebody who is unhealthy.
And as a Spurs fan, I hated playing, the Spurs playing Kobe and the Lakers, but you had to respect it because he was so freaking good.
He was so good.
Yes.
Yeah. And high school, one of the real last successful high school guys to do it. There were a few, I would say successful. A lot of kids got drafted until they changed it, but it was tough. But and set the bench his first year,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Philadelphia kid, wanted to go play for the Sixers, obviously.
But then he was like, he lived in another country.
Yeah, Italy.
Italy.
That's why he was a good soccer player. Like his parents lived over there. But then he moved back to America because
Right, went
there
to
are
Philly.
TikTok videos now of him in high school, like in the hallways, like talking. He's like, "This is Kobe Bryant. He's like a big recruit. It's pretty cool."
That is
All right, what else
really
you got?
cool. And then let's go to the San Antonio Spurs. Tim Duncan, man. I mean, Big Timmy in the paint was just so awesome to watch. And really, I just take that back to my dad having season tickets and us going to those games. Loved seeing Tim Duncan play.
So more about the time he played and the experience while he played
Yeah.
than him, because he was, as they call him, the big fundamental. Fundamentals aren't the sexiest thing, but they do win.
I mean, I think the Spurs in the 2000s was just strictly fundamental basketball. They were so good at
Yeah.
it. Like nothing
They were
flashy.
so boring.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were boring, but they won.
Yeah.
But that's why the NBA didn't like them.
Yes.
Because
And their market was so small, San Antonio.
small market, boring to watch,
Yeah.
winners. NBA's like, God, can somebody that will bring in ratings win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spurs were awesome though. Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna group all the Spurs there in the middle. So I'll go Tony Parker next.
At what number are you for?
I'm right in the Tony Parker's 4, yeah.
Okay.
So Tony Parker,
It was weird. Sometimes you see an actor and they play an American and then they talk in an interview and they're like, and you're like, I know they're British. First time Tony Parker spoke, I was like, dude's French? What
Yeah.
the crap?
yeah, really
Yeah.
weird.
Really weird.
But what's crazy too is his dad would hang out in the suite where my dad would hang out because my dad wasn't a sports fan, but my mom loved the Spurs. So he got the season tickets and then he got himself a ticket to the suite where there was open bar. And he would just sit there at the bar and he would hang out with Tony Parker's dad who spoke English.
Well, Tony spoke English just with an
But
accent, right?
no accent. His
Oh,
dad
really?
was just like regular American accent.
My wife is watching. She's never seen it before. Desperate Housewives, and she's watching the whole. If there's nothing, and she's just hanging out, she'll have it on. And Tony Parker, Eva Longoria.
Oh, is she on there? Are they on there?
Eva is the main character on Desperate Housewives.
Oh, Desperate Housewives, like the reality show?
No, you're thinking of Real Housewives.
Oh, dang! I thought okay.
I was with Eddie on that one. I don't.
Oh,
is there a
Desperate,
difference?
Desperate Housewives is from like the 2000s.
It's a show.
Terry Hatcher. Yeah, it was like
Oh.
the biggest show. I never watched it, and she didn't watch it because she was too young. Flex on me, 12 years younger wife. But
That's a big time
Let's
flex.
go.
she, I was watching a little bit of it last night because she was watching Eva Longoria, and I was thinking about Tony Parker because they were married for a
Yes,
while.
they were married.
I don't think they are anymore.
There's some drama. There was some drama in
Yeah.
there, right?
It was a bad breakup, I think.
Was
Wasn't
it? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right,
Some
what else?
Spurs drama. And then we'll go Manu Ginobili. Dude, loved Manu Ginobili from Argentina. But I mean, really, it was pretty early when like foreigners, especially from South America, came to play NBA, and he was like one of the first, which is pretty awesome. And dude, he played so scrappy.
He was scrappy. He was to me, he's like the greatest sixth man. And he
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
the sixth man always. He ended up starting, right? For
No,
many-
he was always the sixth
never?
man.
He never was starter?
He never started,
Oh.
which is so cool. And now, again, talking about my kids, like, look, Manu wasn't a starter. He was a bench player. And they needed that. They needed a good bench player because when the starters would sit down, boom, here comes Manu, and they never slow down.
I just assumed eventually he started because he ended up being so famous and
Mhm.
all-star.
No.
And
And he never complained. Like, that was just his role.
Yeah.
And what's even cooler, too, he's still with the Spurs organization. He
doing
works in the front
like,
office. I think
ambassador?
consulting. Yeah, that's it. Ambassador.
so basically at games he goes and meets people, rich people.
Is that what
That's a
that
good
is?
job. Yeah, that's a good job. All right, what else?
And then David Robinson, the Admiral. And then I'll group all those Spurs together. And then once they get out of the Spurs, Shaquille O'Neal, man. Blue Chips, the movie.
Yeah, big pop culture crossover.
What was it when he was the
Genie?
The Genie.
He was Shazam.
Shazam. And then Shaq Fu.
Was Shaq Fu a movie?
I don't know what Shaq Fu was. But dude, Shaquille O'Neal was awesome because he was so big. And my cousin Leroy went to high school with him in San Antonio. So before he even got famous, he's like, man, watch out. This guy, Shaquille O'Neal, dude. I went to high school with him. He's going to be awesome. Sure enough.
Sure enough. Leroy
Sure
nailed it again.
Leroy.
Classic
Leroy,
Leroy.
man.
Leroy.
That's what he does.
What number are you on?
I'm on number 7. Shaq was 7. 8 is Dikembe Mutombo. No.
Good one. Yeah, I think that's because I think 8-1. First time 8 beat a 1. And that's the finger. That's Dikembe was on that team. 8 seed beat a 1 seed.
Oh, in
He's on the-
college?
No, in NBA.
NBA.
Oh, so it's the Nuggets.
Yeah,
Okay.
you may look that up. We don't have to be quiet while he looks it up.
We're like,
Oh, it's
we're
you guys can
waiting.
keep going
We're
if you
waiting.
want.
There was something significant about that. Go ahead.
Anyway, that was really cool. And then Dennis Rodman, man. Dennis Rodman was freaking awesome. He played for the Spurs a little bit, but I mean, I think even more than anything was when I went to a Pearl Jam concert and they were like, I don't know, they probably went through an hour and a half of the show. Then finally they go like, all right, he might as well just come out because he's just sitting right here. He wants to come out. Dennis Rodman. And he comes out, picks up Eddie Vedder and sings. Dude, he stayed on stage for like 5 or 6 songs until Eddie Vedder said, all right, get off the stage.
Doing what on stage? Just
Sitting there smoking a cigar. Jamming out, like just being like, oh, love that song. He get on the mic, love this song.
that's funny.
So Dennis Rodman was cool to me. And then Steve Nash, man. He's my number 10. I just love
I forgot about Nash. Nash is a good one.
dude, we're talking about just a point guard, not very tall, fast, awesome. Yeah, great point guard.
He got one in Dallas.
Steve Nash,
Nash?
did.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
won a
with-
championship.
Yeah,
So what's up? Was Mutombo?
but it just says he did it for the first time in '97 after blocking Clarence Weatherspoon.
Oh, I guess I'm just asking, was he on the team that was the first 8 to beat a 1 in the playoffs?
Oh, I thought you were saying when he first did it.
Oh, no.
That's
That
what I
was a
thought you
thing,
said
waving the
too.
finger.
Okay.
He was
Yeah.
in 94.
Say again, Mike.
He was in 94. Nuggets beat the Sonics.
First time 8 beat a 1?
Yep.
That's my memory of him.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Yeah. Here are mine. Number 1, Caitlin Clark.
Ooh.
What are you laughing about?
Oh, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good for you, dude. I mean, she's great. She's great.
Why are you being a hater?
Because Michael Jordan's on your list. That's why I'm being a hater. Michael Jordan's on your list, but you put Caitlin Clark at number 1.
My number 1 favorite basketball player, Caitlin Clark.
You're crazy.
Yeah, Michael Jordan's not on my list,
Uh-huh.
but Caitlin Clark is.
Kobe better be on your list.
He ain't, but Caitlin Clark is.
You're crazy.
Number 2, Spud Webb.
Well, yeah.
Spud Webb was like 5'6", 5'7", won the slam dunk contest, was a Hawk, and I watched the Hawks a lot because they were on TBS. Spud Webb, freaking cool, because I was a kid and I was little, just because I was a kid, and I was also a little kid. And I was like, he's the same size as me. I think it's why my dog likes kids, because he's like, that's the same size as me. So Spud Webb was that. And I was like, that's so cool.
You know that, like, so many kids were like, Mom, I could be in the NBA. Look, like,
Spud
Spud
Webb.
Webb did it.
Number 3, Dan Marley.
Yeah.
The Suns, the shooting the threes, what was his nickname? Thunder Dan. Thunder Dan was the coolest nickname.
How did you know you got Thunder Dan?
I brought the thunder on you, I guess.
Makes
But they call him
sense.
Thunder Dan. Yeah, that's pretty
That's a
cool.
white guy for sure, right?
That's a white guy.
Thunder Dan.
Oh, you don't know Dan Marley?
No.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, so far I got 2 whites and Spud Webb. So we'll see how many whites I have.
And a woman. And a woman.
That's true. I get one
Look
of
at
my
you, dude.
one of my whites is a
Dang.
woman.
Look at you.
Yeah, whites are like the minority. Like most, if I see somebody white playing sports, I'm like, they probably suck. They got to be,
pretty-
yeah.
Or
Okay.
it's pretty amazing.
So I'll ring the bell every white. Okay. Caitlin Clark,
Get it ready.
Spud Webb, Dan Marley. There's a white. Scottie Pippen's at 4. Now I did not put Jordan, but why did I put Pippen?
Because Jordan couldn't have done what he did without Pippen.
Not the reason.
Oh, because Pippen didn't get paid. Jordan did.
Not the reason.
Because Pippen grew 6 inches in college.
That is true, but not the reason. Scottie Pippen played at University of Central Arkansas. Is from Arkansas.
That makes
okay.
sense. Didn't think about that.
So he was like one of the rare Arkansas guys that was playing. Scottie Pippen's an Arkansas guy. He did grow 6 inches in college at UCA. So at number 4. At number 5,
White guy.
white guy. And I didn't get to watch him in real time, but I did get to watch a movie about him. And then as I've gotten older, it's been so cool. It's Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete.
They didn't even have a
Bogdanovich.
3-point line. There was no 3-point line. If he'd had a 3-point line, the guy would have broken every record. Awesome.
We had to watch the same. I grew up watching that movie too.
I got to watch that movie with my kids.
So good.
He would dribble the ball outside his car going to school.
Be crazy.
Yeah, Pistol Pete was legit. Steph Curry's at 6.
Nice.
I love Steph.
Yeah.
Half ring him.
Oh.
Oh,
Is he half white?
light skin.
Yeah.
Or is he just light skinned?
I thought he was half white. Maybe
His,
not.
his
I don't
mom
know.
might be white. You know, his dad's Dale Curry.
Yeah. I think his
I think
mom's
they're
white.
both just light skin.
I bet his mom's white. Okay.
Then we'll do research and then get the bell ready.
I'll give it a half ring.
Muted bell.
LeBron's at 7. And to me, it's not so much on the LeBron's the greatest of all time. I do think he is. It's the fact that he is 40 years old and is still dominant. Like he is taken such great care of himself. He had the highest expectations set on him of any athlete I've ever seen in the history of athletes in sports, period, in our lifetime.
And succeeded.
And eclipsed any of the expectations.
Yeah.
So to everybody, 99% of people, he's 1 or 2 in the all-time list. Jordan, LeBron, some LeBron, Jordan. So the fact that he had the highest expectations I've ever seen put on an athlete and he still surpassed them, wild. And he's also done it without much controversy. Like to be under that microscope and not really do anything wrong.
Yeah. Just play basketball.
Because your microscope makes even regular things look wrong when it's that in on you. And
That's pretty cool.
LeBron's been like that guy. It's awesome. So love that with LeBron. And number 8, Manute Bol.
Wow.
That dude. Probably 2. Once I started playing 2K, I did a lot of Manute Bol, and I just block everybody's shots. So I remember Manute Bol being really, really tall, and he looked
like Elastaman.
Yes,
You know, like,
and to me, I think he was taller than Dikembe, or he was just skinnier. Probably skinnier.
Skinnier, and then
Skinnier,
it
like
looked
taller.
like he was taller.
I loved Manute Bol.
It's pretty cool.
Number 9, Muggsy Bogues. C-Spud Webb, but not a Hawk, so I didn't get to watch him as much, but 5'6". I think he's probably the shortest player ever in the NBA.
Muggsy?
Yeah, Charlotte Hornet.
Oh, wow. Didn't know he
Played with
shorter
Larry
than Spud.
Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, those years when the Hornets were kind of cool.
Yeah.
And at number 10,
White guy.
white guy. Do you know who?
You said Steve Nash isn't on your list. John Stockton.
No.
Oof. Mike Bibby.
Larry
White?
Bird.
Might
Yeah.
be white.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know Fergie was white.
Really?
Yeah. That was news to me. I was like, she is? Yeah.
That's random, but yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about it. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. I never even thought. I mean, I don't just look at people and identify them being white, but I never thought she was white.
Which player was it? The Super Bowl where the player was like, "Oh, I thought you were black." To you?
Yeah, well, that happens sometimes too because I'm just so cool.
They think you're black?
Yeah, they're just like, I thought you're black. You're so cool.
When they saw your name?
No, when they like,
Not when
they
they,
hear me
saw
talk.
you.
Yeah, they hear me talk. Yeah.
Larry Bird.
Oh, it should have been Larry Bird.
It's not Larry Bird?
It's not Larry Bird.
Now it is.
What do you
It
think,
should have
Kevin?
been Larry Bird. Now I put Dirk down.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's a good
yeah,
one.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
really good.
But because
Dark's cool.
Dirk kind of gave, but is European white?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because some European doesn't have to be white.
No, like no.
Dirk was cool because Dirk was like the first European to like open the door for Europeans to be the number one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were a lot of Europeans that like Detlef Schrempf. You could go
Sure.
through some of those guys that came over. They were always like a good role player, but like Dirk was legit, and it was when a lot of those European tendencies started to pay off in America. But he was fundamentally extremely sound
Yeah.
and was an all-around great player, but was also the 7-footer who could shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that was bizarre
At the time, yeah.
because he was 7 foot, could shoot, but it's how they are trained and raised in the European basketball.
Yep.
Like everybody has to have all the skills. So Dirk was at 10,
That's a good one.
and I was happy that he won a championship. And I was happy they beat the Big Three because I hated LeBron. I hated Miami, hated that team.
Yeah.
Even though later LeBron ended up being on my list, but I didn't want that team to win it.
Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite basketball player ever?
Yeah, Kevin Garnett.
That's a good
Only
one.
as a Celtic?
No, not only as a Celtic, all around. I think he was awesome on the T-Wolves. Kind of like Randy Moss, where it's like once he came to the Celtics, I was so pumped. And then he's my favorite Celtic of all time. That guy was an animal.
Yeah, he was. And
Animal.
he was also a high school kid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he didn't
And
play college basketball straight from high school to the pros.
Yeah.
How many can you name that were good?
High school players?
Yeah.
Uh,
Moses Malone's the first one I think about. That was before me, but I know Moses Malone did not play college ball.
Dwight Howard.
Good one.
Yeah.
He didn't play college ball?
No.
Dang.
He went to the pros.
Garnett, Kobe.
Kobe.
And not even talking about the guys that did it and suck, because a lot of those guys ended up being nothing.
Yeah.
Can you think of any more top ahead?
Mm-mm.
I'm going to Google
Well,
them.
some of the international guys, right? Does that count?
I don't
Eh,
think
'cause
so.
they didn't go to
'cause they're-
college.
but they were
No.
like in academies and stuff.
Like, I think Tony Parker, I don't think he went to college. I
But
think he was a high
foreign,
school,
Foreign.
but still came young. Still, like, came to America.
Here we go. Here are the list of the biggest. Oh, obviously LeBron.
Yeah, we already talked. Yeah, but you
thought
already
that
said
was,
it.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
understood.
I don't want
Yeah.
somebody to message me and be like, you forgot about LeBron. You said him 7
No.
times.
Yeah.
Yes. So Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard. We got those two. 3 and 4 on the list of the most we didn't say yet. Kevin Garnett 5, LeBron 6, Jermaine O'Neal 7,
Oh.
Moses Malone. But then you get to like Kwame Brown, who kind of sucked, right?
Yeah,
But that also but he also played for a terrible team.
Yeah.
Andrew Bynum kind of sucked for the Lakers.
He had a couple good years. He thought he was going to be the next guy.
Yeah.
I saw him in person one time. Biggest human I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
At a game, I got like third row seats from somebody. Dude, the biggest human I've ever seen.
The two we didn't mention are at 3 and 4. And I want to give you hints on them.
Did Carmelo go to?
Yeah, he played at Syracuse for a year.
Kendrick Perkins?
Beat Texas in the championship. Rick Barnes, Texas. What?
Kendrick Perkins? Did he go to college? I don't know why that.
Before the championship. They may have played in the Final Four, but championship game. One of the two. Yeah, but he played for Syracuse. He's not on the list.
Okay.
One of them I talked about. I didn't understand how good he was until way later because he wasn't on TV enough. But he's on the list of people to not win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Think back.
He wasn't on TV enough because
he was the 9th overall pick in 1997.
He just said this, man.
I know.
He's on that top 10 list of players that didn't win a championship that you're like, wow, really great players that never won a title.
Not the Rodmans.
Oh, Dominic Wilk? No.
Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady.
Yeah.
And the other one, he is listed as an American-Israeli professional basketball player. I didn't know they would list him as an American-Israeli, but he was born in Florida. You know him. He's very famous. He was very good.
Israeli.
He's not playing anymore,
No.
right?
No. He was the first high school player to win the NBA Rookie of the Year award.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty, yeah. But in the description it says American-Israeli, and it will make sense once I say who it is, but I would have never thought that.
Yeah, that whole thing throws you off for sure.
He was drafted, I think, 9 overall. Let me look this up. At age 14, he started to play organized basketball for the first time. He only played 2 years of high school basketball. Earned USA Today All-USA Basketball First Team, Florida's Mr. Basketball, Orlando Sentinel Florida High School Player of the Year, played in the McDonald's All-America game. His phenomenal skills earned him interest from colleges around the country, but his star was on the rise. He got in the draft in 2002.
2002.
That's crazy. He only played for 2 years. Drafted 9 overall
And he only played for 2 years?
in high school.
Oh, in high school. I was like,
Yeah, he only had
what?
2 years
Okay,
of
yeah.
of
And he still
basketball
made the
experience.
All-American and all
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's. Yeah, I have no idea.
What other hint can I give you?
What team he was drafted by, or is that too obvious?
I can give you a team he played for.
There we go.
Okay.
One of the teams, and I don't think this is going to give it away more than the other team would. The Phoenix Suns. He played for the Suns.
Sean Marion? No.
Not a bad guess, but
Amari Stoudemire?
correct.
Really?
Taken 9th overall right out of high school. Amari Stoudemire.
The whole rate
Israeli American?
Yeah.
Maybe his family. Maybe his name, Amare. I don't know what that.
Yeah.
AMAR.
He was
apostrophe E.
awesome too.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Who was that dude that you always beat me with in 2K?
Manute Bol.
Wally.
Oh, Zerbiak.
Yeah, dude. Wally.
Zerbiak was legit. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't even know what but Zerbiak, he shoot threes like
He
crazy.
was good.
He got the white guy belt. Yeah.
Wally, man, pissing me off every time
Dude,
I
that's
play.
funny. I just jacking threes. Okay, there you go. That was fun. This episode comes out later in the week, but we're going to record this on Tuesday. It is 11:15 a.m., and we're recording this while it's fresh and while we still have Kickoff Kevin because he wasn't going to be on the show today, but the Celtics are now down 1-3. So I guess if you were saying the Knicks, they'd be up 3-1.
Correct.
Never thought about it like that.
Yeah, I did not think that the Celtics would lose another game. And I haven't seen the update on Tatum. He may be out all next year too. So
It didn't look good.
Thoughts, Kevin?
Yeah.
Celtics fan, Kevin. Go ahead.
Yeah. I've gone from full anxiety, stress that we talked about earlier in the week to full depression.
You're about to have 2 kids.
I know.
Which is a very happy thing in life.
Yeah.
It's a very happy thing in life. But right now, for this day, like you said, it's still fresh on my mind. I can be depressed for a few hours until the kids come. By the time you hear this, the kids will be here. But for right now, all I can think about is Jayson Tatum. Not only just us losing this year, but it's next year. Now, what the heck do we do next year? And we were supposed to make this run for 5 or so years with Tatum and Brown and the pieces around it. They're probably going to move some other guys anyways this offseason, but now it's like, what do you do? Because when can Tatum be back? Maybe All-Star break next year? If it is, like we said, probably. It looks like a torn Achilles, let's be honest. So now it's not only does this hurt this year and right now, but this hurts long-term effect. And hopefully this isn't something where you're like, man, he was just never the same after this injury.
What were you more sad about? Losing that game and possibly the series, we probably, because you're not here at the beginning of the show, we haven't recorded that part yet, but there's probably more information out about Tatum's injury.
Correct.
We don't know what it is as we're recording this. What were you more upset about, the injury or possibly losing the series?
The injury, for sure, 100%. Because halfway through that fourth quarter, I was kind of just accepting, you know what? I think this is just last year and just everything's just kind of taking a toll. And Porzingis, he looks bad.
Yeah, he didn't.
Jaylen Brown doesn't look good.
He's hurt though, right?
Yeah, and I think they're both like lingering injuries, and you're just like, you know what? It's tough to repeat in any sport. It's just tough, and you kind of just start to accept that. But then the injury is just, oh man! And he was carrying the team. Him and Derek White. Derek White was having a good team.
Lots of threes.
Unbelievable game. Unbelievable. The only guy. I mean, he was doing everything: rebounding, stealing, blocks, everything. And to see that happen on like just a fluke play like you see in these injuries, it just sucks. So for sure the injury rather than the season or the series ending to the Knicks. Because I'll give credit where it's due. The Knicks are just outplaying them.
Did you think they could have won that game if he wouldn't have gotten injured?
No. I thought even before that I know they're only down a few points at that point.
7, I think.
But it was swinging hard to momentum side to the Knicks.
I'm very sorry for your potential loss.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
At this point, though, you may already have a kid.
Yeah, 2.
2 kids. You keep forgetting.
Well, one may not come out yet.
Twinsies.
One may not be out yet.
Yeah, how does that work? They come out pretty quick?
Same time.
No, God, that'd be terrible for mom.
Oh, my gosh.
So think about this, though. If I could shed a little light on the situation.
Yeah.
2020, Golden State had the number 2 pick, and they had Wiseman. They got Wiseman right.
Yeah.
And not that Wiseman is awesome, but they got the number 2 pick after they'd won all those years, but because of the injuries, like to Clay, their team was decimated. And so that year actually allowed them to stock up for the next few years once everybody came back healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And Tatum's still in his 20s.
Yeah.
The Achilles thing's going to suck if it's an Achilles. That's the worst injury. But again, with science, medical science, it's getting better and better. I think he'll probably be back to what he was before. And if you lose Tatum, if Porzingis is no longer on the team, there are a few of those guys going to be gone. They should just go full tank.
And that's where I'm at, too, because there was already reports coming out a week or two ago that was like, oh, the Celtics are going to make some big like moves in the offseason. They just can't afford all these guys at the end of the day. Drew Holiday, whoever it is, Derek White.
And Holiday's getting older.
Yeah, Holiday's getting older. They just re-signed all these guys, but at the same time, we see this all the time in the NBA where they just 1 year, even if it's a 3-year contract, then they flip them for a younger guy. So I'm with you on that. It's like, okay, if Tatum's out the majority of next year and you already kind of want to get rid of these guys, Porzingis, Holiday, whoever it is, then it's like just go full tank.
Yeah, because you have a year to actually get rid of those contracts that you were already on the fence about.
Yep.
So, okay, let him go. And Tatum, don't rush him back. Doesn't need to come back halfway through. Tank it out. Get you a top 3 or 4 pick. Or the team with 1% can get the number 1 pick. And
I was going to say, or it could be the Mavs.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Trade away our best
Mavs.
player and then still get the number 1 pick when Cooper Flagg's coming out. That'd be great.
Dude, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I know that's not what we're talking about. It's hilarious.
But that was crazy.
Like, send Luka to the Lakers, and you have a 1% chance.
And they hit the lottery.
Yeah. When generational players coming out.
Hilarious. And you don't even get to watch the balls anymore.
Like the lottery balls.
They just open the cards.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the funnier things I've seen in a while.
But yeah, I can't help but to laugh. Like people are like legit upset about it, but
You can't be upset about it.
Not when you can be upset about Tatum.
yeah, I know. Exactly.
Hey, so the Tatum thing, dumb question. When he's crying, is he crying about his season, or is he crying about like how bad it hurts?
Not how bad it hurts. Crying because of what this all means for his future
Mm-hmm.
and his immediate future, meaning the end of this season, which they were poised to win the title,
Mm-hmm.
and then for next year.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's an emotional cry.
Okay.
Not a physical pain.
Because
cry.
I was just thinking, gosh, man, that must hurt so bad. He's still crying, 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
The thing about the Achilles, and again, they have probably said, because again, we're talking right now without knowing, anytime I've seen someone have an Achilles injury, it doesn't hurt so bad. And they're always surprised. They're like, what's happening? And there's like a grab or a look like, wait, what? And then they go down.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like a tear in a hamstring or a tear when it's like, oh, or a break.
He went down pretty quick and
Yeah.
grabbed his ankle pretty quick.
Which may not be an Achilles.
Right.
And you hope it's not. Something is bad news.
But there's something bad.
Yes,
Don't you
1000%.
love the doctors, though, that jump on social media really quick and tell you, well, this is exactly what it is?
Oh, those aren't doctors.
They have like images of where the injury
that's
is.
every person that can get on the internet and Google search any injury
So
at all.
dumb.
We're really sorry about that. dude.
Sorry, Kevin.
Thanks, guys.
that does-
I know you genuinely mean that. So I
But
appreciate
congratulations on the kids.
that. Hey,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
I know. It'll all be. Hey, now guess what?
You don't have to watch
I'm not
that
watching
game.
the game.
Hey, just chill.
What
man.
if they come back though?
Oh my god.
What if they without Tatum, Patrick Ewing effect, where the Knicks get really good once Ewing's gone?
So now you do have to watch.
I'm not watching on Wednesday unless like they're close, and then I'll have to peek. a
Well,
little bit.
this
We
is
text you.
past Wednesday,
That's
so
true.
yesterday.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that, Kevin.
Thanks.
So Arkansas plays a regional in softball. They got a really crappy draw. They were the number 4 overall seed, but in softball they will stick teams regionally somewhat close, even if they don't really fall into the kind of number selection.
Mm-hmm.
And so Oklahoma State, who's good, who was in the College World Series last year, top 8, is playing in the Fayetteville Regional.
Oh man.
And they're only playing in that because they're close. They would have been in a different region because they're actually a lot better than to have to play so that sucks for Arkansas. It also sucks for Oklahoma State.
And we know Coach Kenny.
We do. So I hope Coach Kenny loses.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
I hope Arkansas and Coach Deifel and Coach DJ Gasso win. So how it works, there are 4 teams, and it's double elimination, and one team comes out of winning the 4. Then they do a super regional, which is just 2 teams, and Arkansas would host that if they won.
Cool.
And 2 teams play a 3-game series. And then from that, you go to the College World Series,
Okay.
which is in Oklahoma City. And there are 8 teams that go to that. Arkansas's never been to that. So
Let's go, baby.
we're hoping for an Arkansas win, and then another win, and another win, and get to super regionals. Because I'll go to super regionals next weekend in Fayetteville, if that's the case.
When can we start betting on
Probably
these
the
games?
8. When it gets to 8
Okay.
in Oklahoma City.
Looking forward to it.
That's what you're looking forward to?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Have a pickleball tournament tomorrow.
Let's go. I was wondering when you were going to talk about this.
Well, here's what sucks. My first game's at 8 a.m.
Oh, that does suck.
That sucks. The 2 things that suck. One, the first game's at 8 a.m. It's doubles. So I have a partner I'm playing with. And then I got an email that says there are 200 people through all the tournaments that are playing and the bathrooms are broken. Please use the bathroom before you come to the center.
the whole day?
Yes.
What the?
They sent an email out saying 8 a.m. time. I start playing singles at like 2 p.m.
Okay.
So I guess it'll be a long day out at the courts. And then there's no bathrooms out there.
Take a bucket.
Yeah.
This can't be legal.
Which I thought was weird. Yeah. So that'll be the weekend. You?
Well, I wanted to go to your games, dude, but we have no, I did.
Hey, don't.
And you
no.
can't tell me not to go. If I want to go watch you
No.
play, I can go watch you play, but I'm going to be so busy. We have
Good.
basketball tournaments. And then my 6-year-old, his baseball team, who is terrible. Like, he's 6, so it's 6 through 4. So he probably has
What do
like
you mean 6 through 4?
the ages.
So 4 through 6?
So- yeah.
That's a weird way to say it. But I got it. Okay.
Well, I guess I start with him because he's 6. But the youngest are like 4 and 5. So there are more 4 and 5-year-olds than 6-year-olds. So we're pretty bad. Our batting order kind of starts sucking after 5.
Your own team is bad because you're so young.
The Yankees, yeah.
Is he dominant though because he's 6?
He's dominant, dude.
That's
dominant. He's almost hitting home runs, like over the fence. It's pretty legit. And he plays first, doesn't let a ball go slide by.
Really?
Like, oh, he's awesome. And he loves it. He looks forward to every single game. Like, say like the game is 7 o'clock Saturday night. He wakes up, puts on his uniform,
That's awesome.
and wears it all day.
That's so exciting.
It's really cool. So they've made it they have 2 victories into the tournament. I think they have 3 games left, and it's win or go home. So that's going to be
So
my
if you
weekend.
lose one, you go home?
Yep.
So you'll probably go home after one if your team's bad?
That's my point. They're pretty bad, but they've won the last 2 games.
But are the teams that are playing the better teams that have
Yeah.
also moved on?
The tournament's been going on for like 3 days already, and
dang.
and they're winning.
That's awesome.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, good luck.
Go Yankees.
Mike, any sports with you?
I'm gonna watch Rangers Astros this weekend.
You're going to the game?
No, I'm just gonna watch it.
Oh, okay, got it.
I wish I was going.
Well, you have a Rangers hat on right now, so I didn't know if you were actually going to the game.
I almost went, but we ended up going home like a couple weeks ago. So I was like, I can't do 2 in a row.
He woke up, put his uniform on.
Yeah.
It's just like my son.
I see the hat over there. Yeah, thank you guys. We will see you guys on Monday. Hope you have a good weekend.
Hey, good luck, dude.
I was gonna say go Hogs, but yeah, go me.
Good luck.
Thanks.
You can win this whole thing. Your first tournament ever, you win it.
I don't know what I'm up against. Meaning, again, I've only played with our group. I've really not brought anybody new that I don't know. There have been some guys that have come into play that I know that were pretty good or that got pretty good as we played, but I don't know how good I am. I may be terrible. Or what if I get there and I'm awesome?
Yeah, dude. What if everyone else just sucks?
Getting endorsement deals. Like the scouts are there.
Immediately.
That'd be awesome. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Eddie, blow us out.